All right, I think we're live everywhere. Welcome back to my live. Tonight I'm working on the forgot password feature for my web app that I've been working on the last couple nights. I don't know what's going on with Instagram right now. Pause due to poor connection. Why is there a poor connection? Let me try to switch internets for Instagram. See if that helps. Yeah. So what's up, everybody? So yeah, working on this DocMe app, working on the password reset feature. I did some work offline, but now I'm coming back live. I'm gonna work on this in front of everybody again and see how it goes. So thank you for joining. This is what the app looks like. This is what this page looks like, the forgot password page. And so I'm just working on trying to make this work end to end. So what you're supposed to do is fill out this form for if you forget your password for the DocMe platform, and then you hit submit. It's gonna send you an email, and then you click the link in the email that's gonna bring you back to the app to reset your password. And that part of it I haven't done, but the part I've done so far is I got it where it'll send you an email, but then when you click the link, it doesn't do anything. So I've updated this. I built this page a couple nights ago, and then I updated my API over here. This is a Node Express API. And let me find the actual file where I did my updates at. It's down here, patient. And I got this zoomed in, so sorry if you can't see everything. But yeah, reset password request, post endpoint. So I updated that endpoint. And why is Instagram looking crazy? I don't know why it's so blurry, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just working on this tonight and see how far I get before I jump offline. So I appreciate y'all joining. Appreciate people jumping in. Feel free to comment or ask questions or whatever you want to do. But yeah, I'm just gonna be working and talking and pretty much trying to finish part of this tonight, at least get some sort of update out tonight. Somebody said I look like Kid Cudi. Yeah, man, I do get that sometimes, that I look like Kid Cudi, for sure. I don't know, man. I don't know if I do, but I have gotten that before. I don't know if I think I do though. But anyway, yeah. So let's go. All right. So what I want to do is just make sure this is still working. So if I have to select the account type, which is patient or doctor, and then I gotta put in this email. So this is the email I use to sign up, KG@Melanator. This is like a test email thing. So yeah. So hey man, I see let me see. Yeah. Let me see. Jose? I think it should be working on YouTube now. The last 2 nights it did not work on YouTube. So please, if you can check on Twitch or YouTube, please check for me, somebody, and make sure that the sound is working properly on Twitch and YouTube, because that was annoying me the last 2 nights. I could not get it to work, the sound. But I'm hoping the sound is fine there now. So somebody, please, if you got Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, please go and check for me on one of those platforms if you got me added on there, to make sure that the stream is still working on there. So anyway, yeah, forgot password. So when you hit this, yeah, please check your email to reset your password. I need some sort of like indicator that is loading. because then it didn't. I couldn't tell that it was doing anything. But yeah, please check your email. And I'm going to melanator.com. And yeah, I just now received it. I already sent some earlier tonight, but I just now received an email here. So yeah, this is what I was looking for. And then when you click this reset password button, it's going to take you to a website with a code in the URL. But I haven't built this page yet. So tonight I probably need to build this page. I got the email part working. That's what I wanted to see. And then this page works, even though I do need to put I probably need to clean this out after it's submitted, and then do some sort of loading indicator, which I'm trying to figure out how I can do that. Maybe I can make the button disappear and show a loading spinner or something like that. But yeah, so I want to move over to my web app here. This is my forgot password page. The one thing I want to do, I do want to try to clear those fields out after it's submitted. So yeah, please check your email. So this is the success flow. I want to clear the email address. Oh dang, I don't even know if I can clear this field out. I wonder if I set this to null, if it'll, yeah, if I set it to this. I wonder if that'll clear it out. So yeah, I want to try to clear out those fields. So what I want to do is after you submit this, I want to clear these two fields out. So let me try the first field, set email address to null. So I'm gonna try that first. Yeah, try that. Hot reload. Let's see what happens. I don't think it worked. Let's see. If I reload the page. Just put in a test email. Yeah, it didn't clear it out. Why does it not clear this out? Set email address. On response. Yeah, setting this, it should clear that out. So I wonder what's wrong with it. Yeah, because it's on change. So yeah, I need to figure out a different way to clear that out. It's not actually bound to this. So maybe if I do v model equals email address, something like that. Actually like this. And then get rid of this. See what happens. Alright, try that out. We use React for work. Real Emily. We use React for work and move to Next.js for better SEO ability. Yeah, that's what I'm using. Next.js, because I have all these different pages on here. So Next.js, man, it really, for SEO, because it's exporting it to, instead of just being a spa, it's exporting it to actual web pages that can be scraped by Google SEO crawlers and stuff like that. So yeah, I totally see what you're saying. By using Next.js. Next.js is great, and it speeds up development just anyway. So it's pretty nice if you need it. So valid email address. This is not a valid email address. Why? My email validation is kind of funky. So that's not valid. Something's broken. I think when I need to clear out whenever I call this submit button, I need to clear Yeah, set loading is true. And I need to clear out this error message and success message. Oh yeah, maybe it's not working because the binding is not right. So how do you bind to an input in Vue, man? Cause like I don't know what is going on with the binding. Form input binding for Vue. Blue collar business owner. Love Next.js. I have not tried Astro. I don't even know what that is. What is Astro? Is it like Next.js? If it's like Next.js, then it's probably great. But yeah, I haven't tried Astro. I guess it's a framework on top of React, like Next.js is. Yeah, sounds cool. So it got a cool name at least. Why didn't this click? Value. Okay, so when dealing with the front end, we need to sync the state. Event listeners. The V model directive helps us simplify to above. That's what I did. V model. Okay, man. So I guess I gotta do it like this. That's weird though, cause it's like not syntax highlighting. I guess that's what I gotta do. So let's try that out. See what happens. Patient. Yeah, it's not binding. I don't know what the heck. What is up with this? V model equals message on input. This is input. V model. So what am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm tripping. I'm completely tripping. Oh, somebody said Astro is an Astro new state framework that has integration with React and other frameworks. Like, y'all don't even know what I just did was so stupid, man. Like, because I work with Vue at work, I started looking up the Vue documentation when I should have been looking up React. I use Vue at work all the time, but I'm using in my day job, but I'm using React for this. It's like the problem with switching so much between them. Like, I'm just a freaking idiot just then. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Okay, so yeah, on change. And then, okay, so I just need to set value. That's the problem. So this was right. That was right. Man, that was stupid, man. I'm surprised nobody called me out on that on here. Anyway, somebody asked, do you use Python? I don't know Python. It's kind of on my bucket list to learn because it's so popular, but I actually don't. I haven't ever used it. But yeah, I love it for what it is. I mean, everybody else loves it, so and it's very popular. So let me put that here. Oh yeah, I know what I messed up on, so I gotta go back and bring this back here. I'm gonna forward on that, and then this needs to be, what does this need to be? Email address. All right, let's see if this helps. I'm gonna refresh this. Patient. Oh, man. Somebody said, "What's your job?" my job, so my day job is I'm a software developer. I'm a senior software developer at a like mid-sized tech company. Yeah, I'm team lead. Been in the industry about 8 to 9 years. And on the side, this is just a side project I'm doing. I do like some freelance, and I have like do some development stuff on the side. So this is an app I'm doing for somebody else. I wouldn't actually record my stuff that I do at work on here, honestly, but I wouldn't go live with it because it's like company property. But it's freelance stuff. I can kind of go more anonymously with the work, and like I post what I'm working on. And some of the stuff I post is not like have anything to do with anybody. It's just like practice problems and stuff like that. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that worked. But it didn't clear out. It still didn't clear out the... Wow. So this is value state. This is in the class based. How do I do it in the function based? So value, select, handle that change. I really don't get it. Yeah, so this should be, maybe I need this. Value equals, yeah. Maybe I need, I have no idea why this doesn't work. Yeah, so email address. Only thing I can think, yeah, so this is what I have here. So email address should work. So when I click this, should be set to, oh dang. Did I ever do it? Yeah, I never did it. Okay. I never actually did it. So, wait, yeah, I did. Here. Set email address to null after success. So why doesn't that work? Success message and an email address should be null. I have no idea why it doesn't work. Maybe because it's async. Yeah, I don't know. This should be getting, so after I fill this form out and it's successful. Oh, what happened? Oh, it is no, it just didn't update this field. It's not two-way. Let me see, man. React two-way input binding. Because I don't know. I don't get it. Why isn't binding two ways? Maybe somebody else knows. Comfortable. You'll be more comfortable using Django or Flash for web dev. Oh, somebody said, does it matter that it's email address capital and not email address? Oh, where do you see that at? You might be right. No, because so like I'm using React hooks for use state. So yeah, email is set email address and email address. So to set it you have to use set email address, the mutation function, and then to use it you use this. Like, so I think that's right. Like, yeah, set email address. But I mean, that's a good thing to look out for. Somebody said if you code in Python, you'll be more comfortable using Django or Flash for web dev. Yeah, I'm sure. But I don't think there's anything wrong with React. I think it's just to each his own. Whatever tool works best for the job. But yeah, I think Django is. I've used PHP as well for web apps in the past. Right now, I'm just on my React grind. Right now, I'm doing a lot of React, doing a lot of Vue. I'm just on JavaScript overall right now at this point in my career. I've been doing JavaScript on the front end, back end. Been pretty strong in JavaScript, just trying to like go really deep there, and then move on to something else probably in like a year or two. Yeah. But yeah, I'm about to give up on this because I don't know why this isn't working. It's really not that important to me that this works. I can come back and try to fix it later. Basically, when I submit this, I want this to disappear. I want these to clear. But they just, I don't know, it just won't do it. Like, so I got the function here on submit click. Then I have a API call here that's being awaited, and then it comes back, and if it's successful, I set this success message. Please check your email. Please check your email to reset your password. So that's working. I think I clicked on an accident, but yeah, this set email address isn't. But yeah, it actually is behind the scenes, but it's not updating the box itself, the UI. So I don't understand. Maybe I have to on change, it sets that. So every time it changes, it sets that. But yeah, I don't know. Try to look it up to see why. Here, Stack Overflow, and see what they say. You can set a set state like this, and add a name attribute, input, on change, handle change, on change, handle change, two-way binding for two functions, set state, title, content. Handle change, set state. Yeah, this is what I did. On change, and then I have the set value. And then I set my state using a hook. But I don't think I need this dot state. Or maybe I do need that. Let me see. React function set to empty string. Oh, don't set to null, set to empty string. Alright, I'll try that out. Where would I doing that at? Yeah, here. It's a good, worth to try. Probably is it. Alright, so patient, put in this. Alright, yeah, that works. Set the empty string. So who was that? C-Dog, who that? Appreciate it, man. But why did that work? I don't get why null doesn't work, because that's what maybe calling set, I guess calling set email address just doesn't work for null or something. I don't get it. Anyway, yeah, I guess it works. So I actually want to just keep this consistent. So I'm gonna like initialize it with empty string too. Appreciate it, man. No isn't a valid string for the input. Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I would think it would just make the input, I would think it would just make the input blank out, but that's typically what should happen. But I don't know, maybe some intricacies with React, because if I wasn't doing this with React and I just put, and I had a null, and I set a null equal to a HTML input value, if I set this to null with JavaScript, it would just blank it out. So it's something with the hooks or something with React that's like doing that. But yeah, that's cool. Thank you. So yeah, that's what I wanted. So appreciate it, man. C-Dog, who that? Yeah, when you initialize no, it's rejected. Okay. Appreciate that. So yeah, this looks like it's working like I wanted to. Other thing, so then now I guess I can wipe out this. I'm gonna try to wipe out the option too. Now, the picking between a doctor or a patient. So I'll try to wipe that out too. I'll reload this. Well, I guess I don't even have to reload it. Patient gmail.com. So that didn't work. Select user type option. So what does that do? I'm just having all kind of trouble with this. Yeah, so this should be, oh yeah, I guess this is not working either because it's like not accepting the no. But it's not no. But maybe I have to make it like, I have to give it a name. To give it a name and then make that like that. Because it's looking for like this, sorry, like that. Yeah, maybe I have to do it like that. Very interesting issues. Very like minor issues. Or not minor issues, but like intricacies. Yeah, so that worked. Yeah, so you're right, man. Yeah, somebody said that, Omar Ghoul. Appreciate that. Yeah, you may need to do prevent default as well, just to prevent the page from loading when the user submits. I think it won't do that because I don't have it wrapped in a form. I don't have it wrapped in a form element. So I don't think it should do that. It's not in the button. Oh yeah, I do have button type submit, but I think because it's not in a form, it shouldn't do that. I don't even know if I need button type submit. It's probably just more semantic. It might help with accessibility potentially. I don't know. But yeah. Trying to understand Bootstrap. Oh yeah, that's something good to understand. Bootstrap helps you. A lot of people moved on to different things now, but yeah, Bootstrap's a great place to start. For sure, with like getting some nice to have things done for you as far as like starting out a website very quickly. Like I used to go to Bootstrap to get my template. They used to have like a really nice HTML starter template on here somewhere. I don't know if they still, they've changed it so much since here. I used to come here to get like the actual template, like of like what you should have in your HTML when I first started out. Somebody said WebStorm's greater than VS Code. I guess. I don't know. I haven't used WebStorm before. I like VS Code. Somebody said you read DMs. I probably didn't see Fort Creative. I probably didn't see your DM, man. I haven't checked my DMs, but I'll go check it and see. I saw you. I think you asked about something yesterday on here. Yeah, I'll go check it. So anyway, yeah, I got this working like I want. So yeah, once I fill this out, and then I'm gonna put in, I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna test this out one more time, and I'm gonna move on. I think it's melanator.com. And yeah, this button's disabled. Then this clicks, and then this clears out like I want it to. And then I should have a new email in here. Yep. Reset your password for DocMe. Password reset was requested for an account with his email address. And this will take you to the website. You can put in a new email address. And so the page I need to build now is this page. It doesn't exist yet, but I already got it ready to go from the email. And it contains basically like a reset code in the URL that I can use to tie them back to whatever user submitted the password reset request. And the important thing here is that I don't, like, even if I put in a crazy email here, like, and this is, what is this? Yeah, that's a disappear. I never let them know that an email address doesn't exist in my system, because if that's a security hole. I think I said that last time that you jumped on here. Like, if you let them know, like, I wouldn't want a hacker to come in here and just be trying like thousands of email addresses in this box and figuring out if they have accounts in my system. So I just say yes for everything. So they really wouldn't know. They could put anything in there and it would always say yes, there's a account with this, or it will say please check your email. So that's why it does that. So that's why I can type in just blah 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 and it still pretends to work. I have to have a patient selected or a doctor. Yeah. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's it for that part. And thanks for joining on Twitch. I see a couple people on Twitch. Appreciate you joining. I think the sound's working this time, so I appreciate you joining. Please, comment or whatever you. Oh yeah, somebody said Diggs. What's up, man? Somebody said what's up, Diggs. Appreciate you joining from Twitch, dude. Appreciate that. Cool. So what am I gonna do next? I may want to check in my code for the website. Nah, I think I'm gonna keep working on my code for the website. I think I'm gonna work on a new page that will allow the person to reset their password. And I already started making that page a couple nights ago. And it's called Reset Password. Let's see if it still works. Yeah, here it is. So reset password, and then it lets you put in a new password and confirm that password. And I'm wondering, should I have them have to, well, no, they can't put in an old password because they don't know what the heck it is. That's the whole point. So, no, yeah, this is right. They'll have a code in the URL. I don't have it here now. But with that code in the URL, they'll be validated to update their password here. And the code has an expiration on it. So they can only use it for like 10 minutes. And the Fort Creative, yeah, I'll check my DMs, man, and get back to you about that, about the project. Appreciate it. Appreciate you reaching out, period, and joining this as well. Someone said, why not use the use form hook in React? Because I don't know about it. So thank you. Yeah, I need to go check that out. I don't know. I'm pretty new on hooks. Like the only hooks I know so far is use state. And then what's the other one? Use, see, damn, I already done forgot the other one. I know use state and, what other one? Use context. And then in use context is like when I have like, I think some sort of like, global state that I'm like sharing, I believe. I can't even remember. I use Vue a lot more than React, so that's why I'm using this to try to brush up a lot more on my React skills. But it gets a little confusing trying to use both Vue and React because they are very similar in certain ways, and so it can get real confusing. But yeah, man, I'm new to the channel. I want to do the same thing as you on the web and app, but I also want to dip my toes in cybersecurity. Oh man, yeah. Dude, it's a lot of opportunities, man. The sky's the limit. So I would pick, man. I would pick which one, everyone you're more interested in and have a higher chance of staying committed to, cybersecurity or development. Like, I don't think you're gonna, some of the skills are gonna try to kind of translate, but I think those paths are separate enough to where you maybe want to, or you can just try to run them both at the same time and see which one you like the best, because you might want to just figure out what you like. So yeah, man, just keep going. I just say just keep going in tech, period, man. You're gonna win if you keep bouncing around and learning. You're gonna win no matter what, most likely. So, and I appreciate you said you learned a lot, man. I appreciate that a lot. Appreciate that feedback. But anyway, let me keep going on this. So yeah, I got my reset password page. So what have I done in it so far? I have a submit button. And do I still need? Yeah, some of the stuff I don't even need in here. Oh, I'm on forgot password. So here I have the reset button clicked. Validation. Yeah, I haven't filled out anything here. And then I have a validate the new password. Okay, so yeah, let's check that this validation works. So let's see what happens if I click without nothing. Yeah, new password must be greater than 7 characters. Let's see if I put a password in. Password confirmation must match. And let's see if I make it match, what happens. Password was reset successfully and then go to sign in page. So yeah, that looks right. But I don't have any code. I don't have any API call here, so nothing's actually happening in the back end. So yeah. Somebody asked, do I create apps? Yep, I create. This is a web app, and I also have a mobile app. I would open it up if I didn't think my computer is going to start slowing down to like an obscene slowness that I wouldn't be able to use anymore. But I'm not going to open the app up. But there's an app, the app version of this that looks just like it. So this platform, DocMe, is going to have an app and a web app. It's going to have a mobile app and a web app. They look almost exactly the same. That's why I'm like running this in like a mobile view, because it's all going to be mobile first on the web and of course on the mobile phone. But like if you're visiting the web app from a mobile phone, it needs to be responsive. Yeah. So your new password should be at least 8 characters. Yes, you are right. I will update this to be more. I need to it needs to have a special character. It needs to have at least a couple digits in it, and it needs to be more than 8 characters. You are totally correct. I just got some real basic logic in here with the password, but you're like literally just length. It doesn't have any other requirements. Just really simple. But before I launch this, like, you're totally correct. Like, I do need to up the security on the password. Yeah, so I got that working. And there's one thing do I want to clear this out? Do I want to clear these fields out after I get done? Or do I want to just blank out this whole thing? Like, because I don't want to let them keep resetting the password over and over. So, yeah, maybe I just like hide everything on success. And then as well as there was some things I did like here. Yeah, I need to set these to null. See, when I set these to null, it works. I just can't set those fields to null, like, which is interesting to me. I mean, it makes sense, but it's definitely interesting that it doesn't work. And then I want, for the success, I want to wipe the fields out. I'm just copying the logic from my other thing. So if did not validated, yeah, and it's success. Okay, yeah, I was trying to do it here, but I need to make these this or it won't work, because I just went through that. And I need to, what did I do for the email down here? Yeah. Oh no, it's here. Need to set the value so that it's like two-way bound. So this needs to be, what the heck? New password. And then this, what? Something's, oh yeah, it's right now. It's slow. Confirm password. All right, so now, oh, it's reloading. All right. Okay, so nothing happened. What? No. I don't know what the heck's going on. Yeah, so it cleared these out. But actually, I think I just want to hide everything after I get a success, or maybe disable them. Yeah, disabling sounds better. So if I have a success message, I want to disable the fields, basically, or redirect them to the login page. If I redirect them to the login page, I need to show them some feedback that the password was reset. So that's what I have this for. And then I have them click. I've seen this in a lot of other apps too, where it like shows you the success that something was successful, and then it gives you the link to go back to the sign-in page. It is a little more graceful to have them automatically go, maybe after a couple seconds. But if I just automatically redirect them to the sign-in page, so there's multiple options. I can redirect them to the sign-in page automatically. I can put a link for them to go there and show them that it was successful, or I can just log them into the app automatically right then and there. But I think if anything I do, I feel like I need to have this message somewhere. Like it needs to let them know that something successful happened. So yeah. Somebody asked, so you're doing semantics? What do you mean doing semantics? I think that can mean multiple things. Too many. Person named Too Many on there. Somebody asked, the Fort Creative asked, what's the typical cost range for creating a mobile app? It depends. So if you're asking, I don't even know if I want to say this, but like it could be a lot of money. If you're asking for, if you're asking to build Uber, like that's gonna be a lot of money. It's gonna be tens of thousands of dollars. So definitely over $10,000 and probably tens of thousands of dollars to build something like Uber. The people that build Uber, a lot of times people don't necessarily realize when they built Uber, it wasn't just like they just got a couple guys together and just built it on a weekend. They got investors, they had an idea, they had a business plan, and they had multiple pre-seed rounds of investment from probably family and friends or like connections they had. Then they had multiple rounds of like official investment rounds. And then they hired people as a startup to build like Uber and Airbnb and these big companies. So these big companies were built by people with like deep pockets. So like these apps cost a lot of money to build. I just say all that to say that these apps, because I get a lot of like flack sometimes when people ask me, hey, can you build an app like Uber Eats for like $3,000? And it's like it didn't cost Uber Eats $3,000 to build an app. It cost them like a lot. They couldn't even pay one developer for how much it cost them to build it. So do I charge that much? No, I don't charge nearly as much as it costs to take that. But just putting it in perspective. But if it's a smaller app, like something, it just depends. It just depends on how small. Like if it's a small, simple app, then yeah, it may be like 10K. It may be like 20. It may be like a lot less, maybe more manageable. It's even been times when I built the app for less than 10K when it was like a lot more simple. So it just depends. It just depends on the complexity of the app, because I can't give like a ballpark number, because like if somebody asked me to build Facebook versus build let me think. What's the most simplest app you can think of? Like building Facebook versus building like a note app that you just put notes in. Like I can't charge the same thing for both of those. Those are like I'd be working like a slave for Facebook if I try to charge the same things I charge for. And I'm not talking to Fort Creative. I know you understand that. I'm just kind of talking in general to everybody. So don't think I'm coming at you, man. I'm just talking. I think it's an opportunity to speak on it overall to everybody. So yeah, definitely. I know you understand because yeah, you're business as well. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, I just went on a tangent there. So I don't forgot what I was even doing. Yeah, so I was talking about like doing something with these. I think I'm just gonna for right now. I may change this. For right now, I want to dang, see, I don't even know how to do this in how do I do this in React? Disabled. So do I have to do yeah. And then success message. So if there's a success message, disable this field. If there's a success message, disable this field. I probably should make another variable for it, but I kind of want to keep it like super simple. If is loading or there's a success message, disable this button. And yeah, so I'm going to try that out. Let that load. Yeah, so these are disabled. One thing is like, why does button not look, it's disabled, but it doesn't look disabled. I don't like that. Like why doesn't, it doesn't have like a disabled state. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Somebody asked where you located, Fort Creative. Where are you located? I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. What's your Twitch? It's KG.codes on Twitch. I'm on Twitch right now live. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm on everything at the same time. So if you're watching me on something now and you want something better, then jump over to the other ones. The best and worst are TikTok and Instagram. They're like they have the most people on them a lot. Especially TikTok, it does like this weird thing where it just throws people in there. But not right now, but it does sometimes. But the quality is lower because I have to use my phones for TikTok and Instagram. But for the rest of them, like Twitch and YouTube and Facebook, I'm just streaming directly from the computer, so it's like really clear as far as the picture or whatever. But as soon as I get a stream key for TikTok, I'm gonna put TikTok on the computer too. But I guess they give out stream keys as you get bigger, as a bigger account. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah. Anyway, I think that worked. I disabled the fields. So now, yeah, I type in a password. Successful. Now the fields are disabled. But this one doesn't look disabled. So I guess I need to add a style. This button is class group. So why does it not look disabled? It's just disabled, but it doesn't look disabled. So I'm using Tailwind for my styling. So I want to see what Tailwind has to offer for that. As far as disabling the button and making it look disabled. Are you interested in doing? Oh, you're asking somebody else in the comments. No problem. Yeah. So yeah, I'm in Tailwind. Docs, search. I'm surprised by how I guess not. These sites work really good when I squished them in. I squished everything in for mobile when I'm streaming right now. So like these sites I'm actually more comfortable than I thought I would be with the screen squished in vertically like this. But anyway, disabled, handling disabled states. Oh, yeah. Dang, yeah, this is nice, man. If y'all don't know about Tailwind, I'm gonna go on a tangent here. If y'all don't know about Tailwind CSS, y'all need to get on it, man. Like, Tailwind is dope. So Tailwind trades off having these like large CSS classes and list of like CSS properties. Instead, you're putting your properties in line, but you're using a bunch of utility functions that are short named, like like for width W6, for height W6, text green, like these shorthand classes that they've built for you that you can memorize, and you don't have to memorize them, but eventually you memorize them because they're so short, and then you can like quickly build complex CSS by just like filling out these class names. Now there's a trade-off here because this does look ugly as far as like it is like making your HTML very verbose, like it's adding a lot of text there, but that's the trade-off you make, because if you see, besides for these little placeholder things I had to do, I don't have any style. I don't have a long style of CSS class. I'm accomplishing everything in this beautiful style that I have. I'm accomplishing it all with these utility classes. I didn't have to write my own CSS. I just use these utility classes, and it's done. Everything's done for me. And yeah, it can get a little long, but that's the trade-off you're making for getting that utility. So it's a trade-off. You shouldn't, it's not for every project. It's not for everybody. But man, it's nice for me, especially when I'm working by myself on a project, that now I can just take this disabled flag here, and I can put any other Tailwind CSS property on it. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive down the opacity on these things that I was disabling. So I'm gonna put it at the end, and like I said, there's a lot in here, but that's what it is. And I'm gonna bring this down to 50%. I'm gonna test that out. So when it's disabled, it should be opacity of 50%. Yeah. Dang, that's actually that's a little bit too much. That's weird that disable opacity 50%. Maybe that's a little bit too much. It look rough. Oh, see, it's like killing my background too, though. So I don't know if that's what I want. Yeah, it just like gets rid of the background. I don't know why it does that. But I'm actually okay with it right now. I'll come back and fix this stuff later. I'm not going for perfect right now. I'm not going for pixel perfect right now. I'm really just trying to get this feature done. That I can come back. I'm going to come back and do a final round on all this stuff later anyway. So I just want to get the feature done, because I get distracted easy, especially when I'm going live and I'm talking to people. Use a style tag if you want to dynamically change the disabled. I see what you mean. So I'm changing it here with dynamically with the success message. And then the nice thing about Tailwind is that Tailwind has a utility class for disabled here. So this will automatically apply this when the control itself, I didn't mean to do that, when the control itself is disabled. So that's kind of like one of the beauties of Tailwind, is that this is automatically being applied with me just writing this. And I can put anything I want here. Like I can decide to turn this red when it's disabled. I can decide to do whatever. And so it keeps me from having to write a bunch of separate CSS for the trade-off of like having these long class names. That's your trade-off. You're going to have a trade-off no matter what you do. But yeah. Oh, and the Fort Creative. Yeah, I check out the DMs, man. Appreciate you joining, commenting, and everything for sure. Yeah. Oh, what's up? I don't know if you're still on here, but Lead Bear, go follow Lead Bear on Twitch if you he games and streams games like a lot. So he said, I like any CSS framework that doesn't have to compile like less. What's up, man? I'm glad you joined on here, man. What's going on? Yeah, man. That's one of my coworkers. I'm for his privacy, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's really cool. I've been working with him for years. He's one of the people that really, when I first got in the industry, really helped me grow as far as like developer early on, like annoying him with questions like when I first started, and like one of the people that interviewed me and everything, man. So yeah, shout out to you, man. Um, but yeah, anyway, what was I doing? Yeah, so yeah, I'm doing this little CSS thing, and what I was gonna put it on the, let's see, yeah, I put in my password, yeah, and let's see if that works. So what I'm expecting now is I do this password thing. Yeah, and see, these are like disabled and they're like 50% opacity. So that's what I was trying to go for. So now you can't do anything on this page anymore. I'll probably fix this button. This button's a little, like the background's going. It's a little weird, but I'm not going for pixel perfect right now. I'm just trying to do this password reset feature before it's like 3 a.m. So yeah, and then you can go to the sign in page. And yeah, this keeps bugging me because it's Apple or Safari. People ask me why I use Safari, and it's because I got used to using it because it like would give me so much headache. So then I just started using it for development. So I'm like, if it works on Safari, it will work on anything, man. Like if you develop it on Safari, then it'll almost work on anything, except like IE or something like that. But now that's kind of like deprecated or whatever. So. But yeah, so yeah, man, this is looking good now. But it doesn't actually reset the password for real. So for that, I'm going to go back to, I need to go back here. So if you see, I have this reset button click function that I need to put an API call in here to actually reset the password. It needs to send the password to the back end to my Node Express app, and then store the password in the database. And it probably should do this securely to start. I'm probably not going to do it that way. I'll probably optimize this later when I'm not online and I have time to really look into what I want to do. Somebody said, why not put a big check and success message on the center of the page? Yeah, that would be nice too. I think I probably like the visuals of it. I probably will come back and like completely change it, like, and just not disable those, but just like completely change the page to just show a big success thing and have like a big link to go log in. I think you're right. Or I could just make a whole new page, like a confirmation page or success page itself that I just, after it's successful, just redirect to that page. Or I can just redirect to the login page and put like a success thing at the top to say your password was changed, but now you're already on the login page. You can just log back in. Or I can just automatically log. Like, it's so many more things I can do. But yeah, I'm just trying to get like the basics of the feature down. And then yeah, I'm gonna come back. I'll probably come back and do more videos where I'm just like optimizing certain things. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of rushing through it because I want to get something. I want to get it working and start playing with it and have some of like the testers play around with it as well. And I want to get feedback from the owner themselves, like what they wanted to do. Because sometimes I give my professional opinion, but sometimes they want, particular things. They just wanted to work like they've seen it work somewhere else. And where it's not a security hole or some crazy usability issue, I usually let them have what they want because it's theirs. So end of the day, they need to be happy with it. So right now I'm just kind of guessing what they're asking for until I kind of know because they told me a little bit, but I still need to get more detail. So yeah, so then I got that. So now I'm gonna slide over to my API layer. This is a Node Express app, this was the endpoint that I call when I reset the password, or when I request to reset the password. So it creates a code, creates a timestamp, puts the timestamp in the database, because I only want to allow them to reset the password for like 10 minutes. This code they get, it's not gonna live forever. You can't just keep using it forever. Like it's gonna have to be some sort of so I got distracted, but yeah, Lead Beer said assume no cookies because of Safari. Assume no cookies because of Safari. Heck yeah, man. All kind of crap, man, with Safari. Safari by default, it's Apple, man. Apple, like, they just no cookies, third-party cookies disabled by default. Just all these security things and privacy things that they have set by default can just kill you when you think you're done, and then something doesn't work on Safari. And at work, I deal with issues with that all the time, with cookies and browser storage and Safari, man. It's crazy, but it's life, so we deal with it. But anyway, yeah, I got this API. So yeah, I had this timestamp that I'm gonna validate against to say, hey, has it been 10 minutes since they put this reset in? And if so, I don't want to don't want to allow them to use it if that's the case, because I don't want these codes that live around. It's like a security issue that live around forever that they can keep resetting their password with, or a hacker can get a hold of and like basically reset the passwords with. So the code is going to their email, so that's one layer of security. And then there's another layer of security with the time limit that is on each code. So it's not the most secure thing ever. I'm not saying that, so please don't come at me like it's just like the ultimate security. Like I'm saying it's the ultimate security. But it's some basics that I'm starting out with, and I may enhance. But this is going to be, I don't want to over-architect. That's one thing you have to be careful about, is like prematurely optimizing things. Sometimes your time is more valuable spent getting something done. Done is better than perfect. At times, you make these trade-offs. And if you're a developer, you know this. If you're not, you will come to learn this, that you cannot do everything, and everything cannot be perfect, and nor should you try. And sometimes over-architecting things prematurely causes more problems than you think you're gaining down the line. So either for you or for somebody else in the future. So, but yeah, anyway, yeah, generate jot with 10 minutes expiration date. Yeah, I could use a jot. And then I could put the information in the jot. I mean, that would save me from in this scenario, I don't know if it really saves me anything because I have the code in the user's database, but like I could save the user's information in the jot. And then because a jot, it just helps you keep authentication information with itself. Like a jot can be decoded and have information in it about the user, or like identity information, I mean. So yeah, jot works. I don't know if it does anything a lot more than what I'm doing with the code. Because I don't store any information in the code. There's nothing if the user gets the code by itself, if the user get the code by itself, there's nothing more they can do with it that they couldn't do with a jot as well. But a jot, they could decode it and get information out of it. So I guess it's, yeah, you're the only one who can decode. Yeah. So, but yeah. I have this code, and yeah, I have this 10 minutes. I send an email. I have like this email template that I can put these like macros in to replace. So this is how the link gets in the email. I put the code, I build a link, and then I replace this piece of text in my email template. And then this is like the subject for the email. This is like the header for the email. And then this is like the email template, which I have somewhere else on the API, just a bunch of HTML template. So for like HTML email, like the email that I showed you guys here. So yeah, so that's how that works. But I need a new endpoint now that I have an update password email, but with that it requires a current password, which I won't have. So I kind of need a version of the update password that takes a code and updates the password for that code and checks the timestamp as well. So I'm actually going to copy this endpoint. Good old copy and paste effort. And I'm going to put it... should I put it under here? Yeah, I'll put it under here. Kind of goes with the password thing, but I don't know. So this, I don't need a patient ID, but what I do need is update password, and then I need so this little colon thing is a variable. So I can pull this out here using requests in Node. And I don't know if this is not a Node thing. This is the Express thing. In Express, you have your request and you have parameters. And when you do this code, whatever you put in the URL here is going to get spit out as a variable under requests, params, and code, whatever the name of it is. So basically, I'm going to get my code out here. And I don't need to authorize this endpoint. This is middleware I have that if this was an authorized endpoint, the account holder would need to send a jot. So like who Omar that commented that, the normal authentication for the app is using jot, using the jot that I decode and encode and decode. And to authenticate with the app, the client gets a jot, and for every request after subsequent request after a login, the client must use a jot for that user to authenticate with every other endpoint of the app so that they can keep using the app while they're logged in. If they lose that jot, or they clean their browser, or they delete the app, mobile app off their phone, then they would have to relog back in because they're not gonna be authenticated anymore. So the jot keeps my server stateless because I don't have to hold a session with authentication with the browser or with the user. The user has all the state about their authentication they need in the jot. And that's what the difference between a jot and like stateful authentication versus like a jot, which is like stateless authentication, where the jot holds the information inside of it, and when you decode it, you can get the information out of it. So like Omar was saying. So yeah, and I could use the jot for the password code thing too, as well. But I don't know. I think that I don't know if there's a major advantage of using a jot in that situation that I'm going to get over just using just the blind code, because I really don't need to store any information in the code. I just need a code that expires quickly. And even if I had a code that had information in it and decoded, if a hacker gets the code, then they can use a jot. Like even with jots, if anybody gets the jot, they can authenticate. Like they have it. They can do whatever they want with it. And the thing is, people shouldn't be getting the jots. And like no one should get this code, because this code should be getting emailed to a user that has an email address that they can only access. And that's kind of like this is how a lot of password resets systems work, is that they email you some sort of, code or whatever. to authenticate. But yeah, I think it could be more secure for sure. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect, so please don't think that I'm saying that at all. But anyway, the first thing I want to do is I have the code here, and I need to get the patient. So I need to look up the patient that has that code. So it's more like this piece here where So I'm gonna keep that code under there because I might need it, but I'm gonna start like some new code here where I get the patient where what is it called? Reset password code equals the code that they have, and yeah, and that's right. And if they don't, then I need to send an error. And what error do I want to send back if they don't have a code? I could say invalid credentials. I'm probably going to say, I think better than that would be like data not found or something like that, because it's not actually credentials. So I have some error codes, error type. So it would be like no data found. So so let's try that. And now I gotta find where the heck I was. My screen is real small, so it's kind of hard to find stuff like I usually do. Yeah, so gotta find where I was. Here, yeah. So here, and if I don't find a patient, then I want to return, not that, but I want to return an error code. No data found. Or I can just, I don't know, I could return, I don't know. Yeah, I'm returning I need to return an error code, like a 403 or something. Yeah, it needs to be like, this is for, like forbidden. Yeah, why didn't I just do that? So yeah, I'm gonna return a 403 error because they're sending, there's no patient for that code, so they shouldn't have been sending that. So I'm gonna get a forbidden error if that happens. And then from here, when I have the patient, what I want to do is I need to update that patient's password. So basically all of this stuff starts to make sense now. I can pull that up. And I'm going to get rid of this. Not that, but this here. And then I'm going to pull this code up into here. If I have a patient, then I'm going to make an updated patient that I'm going to put the new password in. So what is my password that I'm going to send? It is, new password, confirm password. Yeah, so it's going to be called new password when I send it. New password. I'm going to set that into password, and I'm going to update the patient where patient ID. I think that's right. I need to make sure that patient ID. Yeah. So where patient ID, I'm going to update them with their new password at that point. number of patients update. This is kind of like I'm using SQLize that connects this Express Node.js app to a MySQL database. That's where everything's stored. And so this is kind of like a ORM object relational mapper I'm using to update the database cleanly in code without like writing SQL queries inside the code. So yeah, and so then I actually grabbed the patient back out of the database, which this isn't really that optimal, but this is how I end up doing it, is grabbing the patient back out to get like a fresh record. And dang, I probably should have an email for saying that your password was changed, but I don't have an email template for that yet. So I need to build the email template for that later. So I'm actually gonna save this code here as to do and do that probably later. Probably be something else I stream later on. But make sure my battery's good on my phone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I ain't got all these freaking notifications. Anyway. So yeah, then I'm gonna return the patient. Should I return the patient though? In the success scenario, when they change the password. I don't think I need to return the patient. And then yeah, if there's any kind of database issue, I just have a try catch. If anything happens in the database, then I return a database error. Probably should return a 500 here actually instead of a, yeah. I think I probably should return a 500. So why am I not returning a 500 for any of my database errors? I don't know. I'm not doing that anywhere else, so I'm not gonna do it yet. But I think that's a mental note that I need to come back and change all my endpoints to return a 500 error in that case. But I don't know. I'll think about it. So, but yeah, otherwise this looks pretty good. So in this case, if I'm not returning, I do need the patient because I need to be able to send them an email later. So I'm gonna leave this code here for right now. But I'm just gonna comment it out for a sec for this. I'm gonna comment it out because I don't want to do it right now if I'm not sending an email, because I need it to be able to know what the customer's email address is to send them an email. So yeah, this is looking good. I'm updating the password and I return a success when that happens. And oh yeah, the only thing I'm not doing is I'm not checking the code. So I get a patient. I'm not checking the timestamp. So if patient, so I kind of want to reverse this. If not patient, I want to do all my error checking up here. Else if, I'm going to do another check for something else here. And then else, then I'll go into my success thing. But if not patient, I want to do this thing down here. So I'm going to put this up here instead. So if I didn't find a patient, then return a 403. If the, so if patient dot, what's that thing? Reset password, timestamp. Timestamp is null or, so now I need to check that this is like 10 minutes. So I don't even know how this is gonna come over looking like. So I think what I want to do is I want to test this endpoint out and figure out what reset password looks like. So I think I want to do like, if I get in here, I actually want to check. I want to do a console out log of timestamp, because I don't even know what this looks like. Like, what it even is this? Do this here. And then I'm gonna just erase this for right now until I figure out what to do with it. I want to comment it out, yeah, comment all that out for right now. And then I need to run this, so I'm gonna stop running my web app and run my web API. You can check if the user request, password change, and code is less than it. Yeah, right. Yep. So that's what I need to check, is like their timestamp is bool is lightweight, then long int. Why not save is password change request instead of saving code in your database? Why not save is password change request instead of saving code in your database, I'm guessing. I have to save the code in the database. I have to have some sort of way to store that, to store some sort of key that will be sent to the email address. And so when they come back to the website, they have a key to change their password. They don't know their password, so they need some sort of key to change their password. They need some sort of unknown variable that they can only get from their email address. Because if it's just a Boolean, then anybody can just come to the website and just change their password for them, because it's just a Boolean value. So it needs to be some sort of key. And since they don't know their password, it can't be a password unless that's the flow I wanted to go with. I didn't want to go with that flow. But you can go with a flow where you send to the email, you just update their password like a random email or a random password, and send them the password in their email and say, hey, log in with this password. You could very much do it like that. But I don't like that. I don't like changing their password to something crazy. Then they got to go and change their password again. And I just never really liked that. And I don't like sending the password to an email address. And then if somebody like gets in their email, then it's like they got it. I don't like that. Are you writing your own auth stack or just as an exercise? No, I'm not. Like, what I'm doing right now is just like I'm building a whole mobile app. And I love your content, by the way. A nerd guy now. I love like your detailed post about like doing all kind of sorts of programming stuff, by the way. But to the question, I'm building a mobile app and a web app. Right now I'm working on the web app. I'm working on the reset password feature specifically for this web app. So basically it sends, you request a password reset. I stopped running this so it doesn't run. I just stopped running this locally. But like you can request a password reset, it sends an email, and then once the user gets the email, then they click the reset password, and that takes them back to this page, and then they can reset their password. And so when they reset the password, it'll be a code that I'll validate against the back end to make sure that it hasn't been too long since they got the email, only like 10 minutes, as well as like what account does this code correspond to that they got in the email. So yeah. And Omar said you're still validating the code but not saving it in your database because it take more space. Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, I think you could use if I emailed them a jot. Yeah, if I emailed them a jot, then I could have the information about what the time and what account it was inside of the jot. So, he said I had to build this exact flow at MS. It's hard. Yeah, it is. I'm building a very simple flow. I'm not gonna over optimize it just yet or prematurely optimize it. Just building a simple flow. I'm not expecting major usage of this for a while. And I know that's not perfect answer, but I don't want to like over architect this. I just want to make it secure enough and then build upon it as needed. So it's pretty simple. Like, I'm sending a code to their email address. I'm relying on the fact that they put the right email address in and that only they have access to their email. And when they click this link, only they will have the code to reset their password because they have access to their email address. I will validate the code against the database and allow them to reset their email address if it has not been too long. And yeah. But yeah, like Omar makes a good point that I could use a jot to store, instead of storing the code in the database, I could use a jot to store the code there instead. Have the code there. And I mean, at that point, I don't even know if I really need a code. I mean, it's just the jot itself is a code. And then the jot itself, once I decrypt it, it would have what user is changing their password, and it would have a timestamp of how long to honor the jot to allow them to change their password. So that actually is pretty decent solution, because then I don't have to store anything in my database. So I think that makes a lot of sense. I may backtrack and change that, or I might not. I don't know. It just depends. It depends on if I need the database space. I don't anticipate the scale to need that sort of database space like that. So anyway, yeah, he said I have a long road ahead of you. Consider using a third-party service like Auth. Yeah. So yeah, I think as this service matures, for sure that will be the case. I will definitely be using something different and not doing this myself completely. So yeah, I agree with you totally there. And using like a third party like identity provider, potentially having where they can log in with different identities like Google or Apple or whatever, like that's a whole separate thing as well. And so yeah, using a third party service will make all of that much easier when it comes to that point. So yeah, that's probably like a outside of the beta feature. But yeah, right now we're trying to get out like super quickly. And so yeah, it's trade-offs to make on the optimization for sure. But yeah, I agree. Like at the scale of Microsoft, of course, man. And at the scale of like if I'm like at my day job where we already are dealing with enterprise customers at a tremendous scale and security issues, like or security risk, then yeah, I wouldn't have any choice for sure. So man, but I love this discussion for sure, man. Like Next auth with makes authentication super easy. Oh yeah. Next auth with TRPC makes authentication super easy. Oh yeah. Yeah, man, because it's a lot of stuff out now that you can use that just like helps everything for sure. But let's see what I want to do next. Oh yeah, I want to test this endpoint out in here. So first thing I want to do is okay, yeah. So I ran my API and I need to make a new, this is a Postman, allows me to make test requests against the API. Now I need to I got so many endpoints on here. I need to figure out where I want to put this one at. Reset password request. Yeah, so I'll duplicate this one. It just went, actually I don't want to duplicate that one. I'm gonna duplicate the patient one. Duplicate, and it's gonna be reset password, and then this is gonna be the code. No auth on it. This would be new password, and don't eat me up, but it's just gonna be password. Yeah. I'm gonna close all these other things down for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna close this one too. And now I'm gonna send, this is my reset password request. And maybe I can't do that here. What can I? What database do I have this against? I think I have this against my production database, so I have to do it here on an API. So why not use folders? Folders? What do you mean folders? Oh, for the Postman? It is in a folder. But I guess you're saying to use subfolders. Yeah, you're probably right, man. At this point, I don't think I expected to get this large, but yeah, I've been working on this app for like a year, so it's getting close to being done. And these are all the different endpoints for doing different things, setting insurance plans, and setting, like, there's a lot about. I'm focused on just one tiny feature, so when I talk about these trade-offs I'm talking about making and not doing this and not doing that, this is the stuff you run into as a developer in your day job. No matter where you are, there are technical trade-offs you have to make and optimizations that you have to, there's things you have to skip for the sake of time. You just have to. Like, I'm dealing with this. I've been working 3 nights just on this little part of this reset password thing. And all this other stuff needs to have the same attention. Like booking appointments, security around booking appointments, like the data that's being sent, the personal identifiable information that's being sent over. Like, it's just so much to do that, like, I have to, this is the beta, this is the version 1. I have to make trade-offs somewhere. I can't do everything to the extreme level of like security, best practices. Like, it has to be a trade-off somewhere, but I will do the best to make sure that nothing is compromised for sure. But at the same time, I'm a one-man team building pretty substantial applications, so there has to be trade-offs. I have to be iterative. It's not that I will never do the stuff. I have to choose my battles when I do it. The app needs to come out before I'm able to do every single thing that I want to do. So that's the one thing. It's hard. It's one thing you have to learn, especially early on as a dev, because you get in there, you're green-eyed, and you haven't been burnt enough, like, by issues to know that, like, you can't do everything. Like, yeah, and it just gets crazy. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get off the soapbox of that and try to. My guy Frankenstein said use folders. I'm definitely gonna use. Next time you see this, I might be having these in folders. I don't know why I never thought to use subfolders. So I just sent an email. This is a reset password request, but I did it on the API instead of through the app itself, through the web page itself. I just did this, not this page, but the forget password page through the API call instead. So I should receive an email here with a code in it. So when I click on this link, this page is not working quite yet, but I have a code here. I'm going to take this code and I'm going to test this endpoint with that code. So here's an endpoint. And I'm going to say this is going to be password test. And then this is the code. Oops. Code should be this. I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to send this off and see what happens with my API. Ugh. 404 not found. Reset password code. So you'll see why that didn't work. Here's my API. Oh, it's update password code. So that's why it didn't work. Update password code. And I want to rename this to update password. I'm gonna say update password with code or something like that, because it makes it more clear what I'm doing. Save, send. Still not found. Update password code. Oh yeah, I'm tripping. This should be patience. I'm just messing up. Internal server error. So that is that's okay, because I want to know what the heck went wrong. Patient update password code. This is the code. I got a 500 error. Jot must be provided. Oh, I didn't take out the authorize middleware. I was talking about it earlier, but I never took it out. So this is not an authorized endpoint, because they don't know their password. They're not logged in. They're using the code to kind of authorize themselves. So yeah. Socket hang up. So what happened there? Okay, yeah, so. Oh yeah, this just blew up with dang, could not get a response. So this just blew up and it didn't get caught. Something's wrong with my error handling. As far as the whole app should return a 500 if it blows up like this, but it's not. That's interesting. It's probably something else I need to fix later. This should return some sort of error. It shouldn't be a hung up socket with no response. It says true. And then what did I get here? Yeah, it updated. So it ran a query down here to update the password. Oh no, it found the account with this code, and now it updated the password to, it doesn't tell you what it updated to, but it updated it. And then yeah, number of patients updated was 1, so that means we updated a record, and then it returned a 200. So that looks good. So you'll see in our database if password test is let me see. I don't know if I have my database still open. Open my database up and show y'all that. But what time is it? I might jump off of here eventually. But appreciate everybody joining. Appreciate somebody followed on Twitch. Somebody's on Facebook, I think. So appreciate you guys joining. Please like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Follow if you want to hang with me in the future. Appreciate you jumping in, if even for a minute, to check out what I got going on. So this is my database. I want to check. I want to check that I updated the patient password. So remember, yeah, password test. And somebody's gonna, I don't know if anybody's still left in here that knows what's wrong with this database table. It's something very obviously wrong with it that I have to fix before it goes out. If you can guess what it is, let me know what's wrong with this table. This database table. It's something very obviously wrong with it as far as what I'm keeping in it. I probably just gave it away, but anyway, password test is what I expect to be in here, because so the password got reset properly, but I need to also have a check for if, okay, yeah, so it gave me the timestamp here. So this was at 12:51 Eastern time. And so I need to make sure my comments are, yeah. So I need to, this was at 12:51, so I need to check, before I update any password, I need to check that this timestamp, it hasn't been 10 minutes since this timestamp. So I think what I can do, since this is this a JavaScript timestamp? I think it is. So yeah, I think what I can do is simply say, I think I can uncomment this, and I can say, if timestamp is not null, if timestamp is null, then I have a problem. Or if date, let me see, new JavaScript date, and then minus patient dot, I kind of want to drop this down because I can't see what's going on. Well, I don't know, not yet. Date is reset password code. Expiration minutes. Where is that at? Okay, yeah, here. Probably need to set a constant for this, but yeah, I basically want to check if this code is older than 10 minutes, then I'm going to return a, probably going to return a 403. Let me see, it's got to be like a timeout, or I don't know, I need some kind of error code to let me know that this is, because 403 is forbidden, right? Does anybody know that? I think it is. Response code. Three. Yep, forbidden from accessing the URL. So I want to keep it a 403. But I want to put a, can I put a message in here? Send status. Example status 200. Yeah, and then send not found. Yeah, so I want to do something like this. I'm going to send a message back with it. Let me see. I'm going to say password reset request timed out. And then, yeah. And for this one, I'm going to say password request link is it the link though? It's not a link, it's the request code is invalid. Yeah, password reset code is invalid. And yeah, I think that's what I want to do. And so yeah, if date minus password reset code is greater than, so what is this gonna be? I can't remember how to subtract dates in JavaScript. Probably just gonna stay working on this until my phone dies. So yeah, it's forbidden. Appreciate it, Huncho. Yeah, appreciate you joining again, man. Subtract days. I might subtract days. Dates are stored like this. This will give you the difference between 2 days. Dates. Diff. This will give you diff. I'm not worried about time zone because I create both of the timestamps on the same server. So it should be fine. And I haven't scaled this up to multiple servers yet, so should be okay, or will be okay. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing anyway. So yeah. Yeah, but I created on the database, so it might be. Oh yeah, it's created on the server, actually. So I need the difference in milliseconds. Okay, so that's difference in milliseconds. Okay, so I'm gonna get this difference over here. Sorry. So difference down here is going to be in milliseconds. And so I need to say, I need 10 minutes in milliseconds. So let me see, how can I get 10 minutes easily in JavaScript? Get milliseconds. That's gonna get the milliseconds of a date. I guess I just need the number. So milliseconds is 1,000 seconds, 10 minutes. So 10 minutes is 60 seconds each. So that's 600 seconds. And then 600 times 1,000 is 600,000. Yeah, I think. How many milliseconds in 10 minutes? I'm thinking it's 600,000, but yeah. So the math worked out for me in my head, surprisingly. I'll put 10 minutes here as a comment. So yeah, this was yeah, so new date minus password reset code is greater than 600,000. Then it expired. So I'm gonna drop this down here like that. New date. Yeah. I'm actually going to, I'm gonna lower this just to test it out. So 600,000, but I'm gonna say like 1 second if it expired, and then I'm gonna, gonna basically say it's expired. So, and I also need to wipe out the values in the database, so you can't use it again. So that's a good point that I didn't even think about. So I might try that again. Let's see. So, wait, where am I at? Yeah, here. Save this. Try to run this again. Okay, that worked somehow. Wait, hold on. What is this? It's like it didn't call it though. Oh yeah, it did. And let's try it again. So it got through. Yeah, it says it's greater than date minus. I need to put this in parentheses. Reload it. Try this again because it didn't stop it. So it's not stopping it. Or date minus password equals, yeah, I need to figure out what this is. What is this? If I'm in here, then I need to know what the heck this is. Milliseconds. Oh shoot, I'll put password request code. This should be password reset timestamp. Reset password timestamp. Yeah, that's why I screwed up here. I don't know why the heck I did that. Bug. Alright, so now if I try this, it should fail. Yeah, forbidden. But if I put it back to, see, 600,000, dang. Cannot send these headers. Oh, cannot send headers after they're already sent. Where am I already? Where is it happening? I'm doing it here. I'm doing it here. Else. I don't know. What are they saying? I'm doing it already. I don't know. That's weird. That shouldn't be happening. Huh. Oh, app is crashing. Errors. So what's happening? Something's happening. Patient 181. It's gotta be. Oh, it's this. Doesn't like this. Let me see. Say send 40 with message. Cause yeah, something thinks I'm sending 2 requests back. Using an earlier void. Oh, okay. If you're using an earlier version status. Send status send. Send status. Huh. Why can't I send a message though with it? Okay. Yeah, because send status already sends it, so I can't say send again. So how can I send a message? A 404 would send with a message though. And this is... Okay, so maybe it wants me to send it like this then, I guess. Yeah. Okay. That's what y'all want. 403. Like that. Seems like that's what they want. Okay, yeah. 403 and I got the message I wanted. And it works every time. That's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, so basically this has the password reset request timed out in this case. And then let's say I use a bad code, I should get the reset code is invalid. If I use a good code, I should get that it's timed out. So now let's try a non-timed out code. Let's do this again. Let's request another password change. And then I'm going to get an email with a password request here in this Mailinator, my test inbox. Then I want to click, I get the email telling me to reset my password. I click it. This doesn't work yet, but it will soon. But I can get the code off the URL. And then take the code and call it here. Put the code here. And now I should, and I want to change the password to test 5. It says true. Okay. And then let me check my database to make sure once I rerun this that test password 5. And I know I shouldn't be having these passwords in here in plain text. That will be changed before we release 100%. So y'all can jump on me about that if you want, but it will be changed before we release. It's just for the sake of development. I just have it plain text so it's easy to work with, but I'm gonna like salt and hash these passwords before they're stored in here, probably using decrypt library. So it's pretty easy to do. I'll do it as soon as I get a chance to, definitely before we release. So yeah, that works good, man. It looks like I'm done with this. So the only thing I need to do is do it for my doctors too, because I just did it for the patients so far. I need to do it for doctors as well. So I can copy this endpoint to my doctor's thing too, and change everything to be for like doctors instead. The code, be a doctor. This is a doctor. Where the code is code, that's the same. The doctor, password reset request, all that's the same. Doctor, all that's the same. Updated doctor, password, doctor, where doctor ID equals this. Number of doctors updated. Now doctor is doctor everything. Somewhere I think I'm missing something, but one of the doctors somewhere, but maybe not. Doctor, and this needs to be doctor here. What languages are you using? JavaScript. Using Node.js and Express.js as the frameworks for this. Yeah, and this is my I got these commented out, but this is, I'm gonna eventually send an email to, once the password is reset, I'm gonna send an email. But I'm not doing that tonight. But I'm gonna do that eventually. So yeah, this looks right. The one thing I forgot to do is go back to patients. Is when I reset the password, I also should reset these password code and password timeout, because I don't want to let them use the code again twice without resetting again. So yeah, I'm going to update this to null, timestamp to null. I'll do that there, and I'm going to do it in the doctor's one. And yeah, so I think that's good to go. I want to test this out again just to make sure one more time. So I'm gonna send this email. Phone's probably about to die soon, so when it dies, I will be off and working by myself. But I appreciate everybody joining. It's better to use const instead of var, but everything seems right. Where exactly are you talking about exactly? 'Cause I know what you mean. I think, yeah, it's probably better to use a const here because I never changed this, as long as this isn't changing it. So yeah, probably better to use a const here for sure. And it's probably better to use let in all these places that it is changing after initialization. So yeah, I agree with you totally. Yeah, he said, or maybe let. Yeah, yep, totally agree with you. I will probably come through and clean up this code to do that. That's a great point. Thank you. That was Ugimir, Ugimir, something like that. Appreciate it, man. Do you have your Twitch chat open? Oh, my bad. I'm looking at it, but nah, I missed it. Somebody said password equipment. Hey, how are you doing? I took a look at your website. I like what I see. Trying to outsource projects for my esports organization. Yeah, just DM me, man. Just DM me. Oh, you have a Discord thing. Yeah, sorry about that. I see it now, man. I see the chat now. I'm sorry about that, dude. Like, I got chat over here, and then I got the phones right here. And I'm pretty new to this streaming thing, so I'm gonna get better. I promise, man. I promise I'm gonna get better at reading the chat. I missed it, but yeah, I see it now. So just DM me on Instagram or on Twitch or wherever, and we'll talk. For sure. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you even jumping in here and commenting. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I suck, man. I suck at like looking at this stuff, man, because I'm just so new to it. I'm like trying to do it, read at the same time. Yeah. But I gotta get better at reading the chat, man. I was working, but I gotta get better at it. So what was I doing? Yeah, I was looking at. I sent a new email. I just need to get a new code off of the link. So this is my code for resetting my password. I'm just testing my API out right now with a new code. Password. I'm gonna test with password 6. Success. That's great. So I'm gonna save that endpoint, and I'm gonna look at my database. Make sure that password 6. And then I also want to make sure that, my reset code and timeout got blanked out. So that's what I was looking for. Yeah, so that's great. And then I also want to do this for doctors. How much battery I got left on here? Oh, 2%. So yeah, I only got 2% battery left, so I think I'm gonna jump off of here tonight. I appreciate everybody watching. Do a little bit more work tonight, and then probably hop back on tomorrow. I'll probably try to go live tomorrow, doing either a coding challenge or jumping back on this again. But appreciate everybody watching before this thing just cuts out on me. I had a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, and on all different platforms. So really appreciate it. Please, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and join the community with me and help me out with this stuff and talk to me while I do this stuff. It definitely gives me motivation to keep working on this and finish these projects. So yeah, man, follow and all that crap that you're supposed to do on social media to keep me motivated to do this stuff, man. Appreciate it. See y'all later, man. See you later, dude.